The Ajax defender Jurrien Timber has had a stellar campaign this season, and with the arrival of Erik Ten Hag at Manchester United, it looks like he wants to bring the Dutch centre-half with him, as according to reports, Manchester United are only one step away from securing the transfer of Jurrien Timber. But how much will he cost the Red Devils, and when is this deal likely to be confirmed? Also, according to Fabrizio Romano, what are Manchester United's transfer plans for the upcoming summer? Well, let's discuss all this in the latest episode of Transfers FC. But let's start off with Jurrien Timber's transfer to Manchester United. As according to Pedro Almeida, Jurrien Timber is only one step away from becoming a Manchester United player. The English club will pay 35 million euros for the Dutch player. So, according to Pedro Almeida, Manchester United are only one step away from securing Jurrien Timber for 35 million euros. And well, I think that might be the case, as I have previously told you. According to MUFC MPB, Manchester United have reached a verbal agreement with Timber. So, all Manchester United would have to do is put a suitable bid on the table, and that Jurrien Timber would be ours. But before we all get gassed, maybe this transfer might not be as close as it looks like, as previously Pedro Almeida has been hit and miss, and maybe right here he might be jumping the gun. But he might not be, as according to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United have discussed Jurrien Timber again internally in the last 48 hours. Timber's name was mentioned in the first meeting between Manchester United and Ten Hag days ago. More to follow, as Manchester United will decide their next steps on their centre-half soon. So, Mr. Here We Go himself has confirmed that we are looking at Jurrien Timber, but it might not be as close as what Pedro Almeida suggests. But then again, there has been another report on Jurrien Timber, as according to Alex Turk of the BBC, Manchester United have been notified of Jurrien Timber's transfer fee, but are yet to submit a formal offer. But a deal should move quickly if a bid is made. Ajax will not waste time once they have formally received interest. So, 3 reports on Jurrien Timber to Manchester United, with 2 of them suggesting that we are so close to Timber. And if that is the case, well, that would be things you love to see. As even though the fact that Jurrien Timber is just 20 years old, for a player so young, he has shown the capabilities of being an elite ball playing centre back. As if we look at his underlying passing numbers for Ajax, well, majority of his passing stats are in the high 90 percentiles, suggesting that he is part of the elite when it comes to passing ability. And that is so crucial in a possession based system. But he's not only elite at passing, but he's also elite at carrying the ball, as his possession numbers would also suggest that he is one of the best when it comes to carrying the ball from the back. And when we look at his dribble numbers, well, it suggests when teams press Jurrien Timber, well, he's able to beat the press. And with his dribbling ability and his passing ability, well, that is absolutely necessary in a possession-based system. But Jurrien Timber is also a competent defender when it comes to 1v1 situations. As when we look at his numbers when he's dribbled against, well, those numbers suggest in 1v1 situations, Jurrien Timber is competent enough to be there at the back. And while the only standout deficiency I do see in Jurrien Timber's game is his aerial ability, as those numbers right there are some of the worst you would see in all of Europe. And sadly about this is something that we cannot coach. As I've told you before, he is only 5'10" in stature, and the only thing we can do with Jurrien Timber is put him with an aerial dominant centre back like a Harry Maguire or a Rafael Varane. But maybe this issue might not be as important in the modern game, as we've seen with the best teams in our league with Manchester City and Liverpool. They don't deploy orthodox number 9s, as we have seen Pep Guardiola's Manchester City win league titles without a number 9, with him deploying the likes of Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne and even Bernardo Silva as false 9s. And we have seen something similar this year with Liverpool, as since the turn of the year we've seen the likes of Sadio Mane and Diego Jota be Liverpool's number 9. So, with Jurrien Timber's pace and his agility as a centre-back, maybe that might be more important in a modern game, as if he is to verse the likes of Sadio Mane and Phil Foden and co, well, he has the pace to match them and is just as agile as those players. And maybe, just maybe, in the modern game, the pace and agility that Jurrien Timber has might be more important than height and strength for a centre-back. But the brilliance of Jurrien Timber doesn't stop there, as Jurrien Timber is also a versatile defender, as in his time in Ajax he has shown he has nearly played 50 games at right back, and potentially if Manchester United do not sign a right back this summer, well, Jurrien Timber is competent enough to fill in there in the short term. And the brilliance of Jurrien Timber doesn't even stop there, as Erik Ten Hag believes that he could potentially even be a captain. As when Erik Ten Hag was asked on Jurrien Timber, he said he's another great leader he has trained at Ajax. Beside his footballing skills, he has the personality to become a captain. And with all this brilliance that Jurrien Timber has, if Manchester United just have to pay €35 million, which is £30 million, that is an absolute bargain for Manchester United. And Manchester United should be all over Jurrien Timber. But what are your thoughts on Jurrien Timber? Do you think he's the perfect defender for an Erik Ten Hag system? And if not, who would you want Manchester United to sign? But now let's move on to Manchester United's summer plan. As according to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United this summer will sign a striker, a central midfielder, a centre back and a new fullback. And as I have said that we are just one step away from signing Jurrien Timber, that would probably be Erik Ten Hag's centre back. But who will be the striker, midfielder and fullback that Erik Ten Hag wants? For me, in the striker position, there's only one standout candidate, and that is Darwin Núñez of Benfica. As I have told you before, Darwin Núñez has had a standout season this year, and his goal scoring form alone is why Manchester United should be looking at him. As in this season, I have told you before, in 32 starts for Benfica, he has 34 goals and 4 assists. Every single time I read this stat, it just amazes me. And with the fact that Manchester United could potentially pick him up for just £51 million, solely based on his goal scoring ability, Manchester United should be all over him. But with his demands being that he wants Champions League football next season, maybe, just maybe, Manchester United will have to look elsewhere. And if Manchester United have to look elsewhere, for me, Manchester United should look at Gianluca Scamacca, as the Sassuolo striker has also had a good season, with him having 16 Serie A goals in 25 starts. And obviously that isn't as good as Darwin Núñez for Benfica. But the fact that Scamacca is a 6'5" striker, but is also technically secure with him having good link-up play, maybe he might be a better alternative to Darwin Núñez. As also like Darwin Núñez, he is a clean ball striker, and with that clean ball striking, he's able to score from various different angles and various different ranges, with him able to score many half chances this season. And obviously with the fact that he is 6'5", he was always going to be aerially dominant. And the fact that he is just 23 years old, with him being valued at £27 million, a technical secure striker that is 6'5", that sounds like something that Manchester United should be looking at. But now let's move on to the midfielder that Manchester United should sign. And in that position there is only one candidate, and that is Frenkie de Jong of Barcelona. As I have told you before, Mr. Gerard Romero suggests that Manchester United have a 95% chance of signing Frenkie de Jong this summer. And if that is the case and Frenkie de Jong joins Manchester United this summer, that would be absolutely amazing for us. As I have told you before, that Frenkie de Jong epitomizes the perfect midfielder for an Erik Ten Hag system, with his passing ability allowing him to dictate play and his versatility allowing him to play in many different positions while never losing his class. Manchester United should be all over Frenkie de Jong if he wants to join us. And there's only one man to blame if this transfer doesn't happen. As Mr. Gerard Romero has said, there's a 95% chance of this happening. So hopefully this summer we'll see Frenkie de Jong at Manchester United. But now let's move on to the fullback that Erik Ten Hag might sign. And I have previously discussed the likes of Borna Sosa and Tyrell Malacia for left back. But if it is true and Aaron Wan-Bissaka is set to leave us this summer, for me, Manchester United should be targeting a right back. And could that right back be the Middlesbrough loanee Jed Spence? As Jed Spence is another player that's had a top season this year. As in 41 games for Forest, he has 2 goals and 4 assists as a right back. And with the performances he has shown, in March, Jed Spence won the Championship Player of the Month and the Championship Goal of the Month. And with the season he has had, he's also been included in the Championship Team of the Season. And it wouldn't be a fact about if he wants to join Manchester United, as according to reports, Jed Spence dreams to play for Manchester United as he is a United fan, and that his parent club Middlesbrough will demand a fee of around 12 to 15 million euros for him. and with that fee being 10 to 12 million pounds, well, after the season that Jed Spence has had, well, that is a bargain for Manchester United. And if we're running out of money this summer and need to sign a budget right back this summer, well, Jed Spence is that guy. But anyways, lads, that was the latest episode of Transfers FC. And if you did enjoy the video, please go down there and smash that like button for your boy. And consider subscribing to my channel, as we are now on the road to 800 subscribers. But anyways, lads, for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.